Hey there. So, Donald Trump. Just hearing his name probably brings a lot to mind. Drama, headlines, arguments, and some pretty wild tweets, right? But what if I told you that in some parts of the world, Trump isn't just a controversial figure, he's actually loved? Yep, there are countries where people genuinely admire him, sometimes even more than Americans do. Today, we're diving into the places where Donald Trump is most popular, and the reasons might really surprise you. Let's go.
First, let's talk numbers. According to global surveys like Pew Research and Gallup, Trump had very low approval ratings in most of Western Europe. We're talking Germany, France, the UK, all below 30%. But in other parts of the world, it's a different story. Here are 5 countries where Donald Trump was actually popular during his presidency. People for Israel, over 70% approval. People for the Philippines, around 58%. People Nigeria, about 58%. People for Vietnam, nearly 56%. People for India, over 50%. Let's look at each one and break down why so many people in these countries liked him.
Let's start with Israel. In Israel, Trump was more than just a US president. He was seen as a historic ally. Why? Because he did something no American president had done before. He recognized Jerusalem as the capital of Israel and moved the US embassy there. He also recognized Israel's control over the Golan Heights. These decisions were huge wins for the Israeli government, and for many Israelis, it showed that Trump had their back. It's no wonder his approval ratings were sky high there. Next up, the Philippines. This one is interesting. Trump and former Filipino President Rodrigo Duterte had a pretty unique relationship. Both were strong personalities, bold, blunt, not afraid to speak their minds. Filipinos saw Trump as a leader similar to Duterte, someone who broke the rules, didn't care what elites thought, and spoke directly to the people. Trump also didn't lecture the Philippines on human rights, which made him seem more respectful of their leadership. All of that earned him serious respect there. Now let's talk about Nigeria. In Nigeria, Trump was especially popular among Christian communities.
Why?
Because he openly supported religious freedom and Christian values. Many Nigerian churches saw him as someone who stood up for faith in a world where they felt it was being pushed aside. In fact, during the 2020 US election, some churches in Nigeria held prayer services asking for Trump to win. That's how strongly some people felt about him. How about Vietnam? This might surprise you, but it actually makes sense when you think about it. Trump took a hard stance on China, the trade war, the tough talk, the tariffs, and guess what? Vietnam has a long, tense history with China. So when Trump stood up to China, many Vietnamese people saw it as standing up for them too. That earned him a lot of respect, even in a country with a complex history with the US.
Now let's go to India.
In India, Trump's popularity had a lot to do with one person, Prime Minister Narendra Modi. Trump and Modi got along really well. And in 2020, India threw a massive rally for Trump called Namaste Trump. Over 100,000 people showed up. Trump praised India, praised Modi, and criticized China. 3 things that went over very well with the Indian public. He was also seen as someone who respected Indian culture and took their relationship seriously. That gave him a lot of fans in the country. So, what's the pattern here? These 5 countries are really different. Different regions, cultures, even religions. But they all admired Trump for one main reason. He projected strength. Love him or hate him, Trump came across as bold, unapologetic, and willing to make big moves. And in many of these countries, where people are used to complicated geopolitics or rising foreign pressure, that kind of leadership felt refreshing. It wasn't about liking every word he said. It was about seeing someone who acted, even if it made headlines. Now, let's be real. Trump was not a typical president. And yes, he had a lot of controversies. But globally, there were millions who didn't see the chaos. They saw confidence. They saw someone who picked a side and stuck to it. Someone who wasn't afraid to shake up the system. And that earned him admiration in some very unexpected places.
So, what do you think? Did any of these countries surprise you? Do you think their reasons make sense? Let me know in the comments. I'd love to hear your take. And hey, if you liked this breakdown, hit that like button, subscribe for more, and I'll see you in the next one. Thanks for watching.